Hello, you all. My name is Truly Intuitive, and today we are doing our weekly prayer. All right, I appreciate everyone who submitted a prayer request. I appreciate everyone, whether you were able to submit a prayer request, or not. Whether you are seeking something, or whether you are wanting to receive something, or whether you are looking for God more, or whatever your situation is right now, I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you want to receive this message, want to receive this prayer, and want to receive your blessings and therefore your alignment. So, there are a lot of prayer requests that were out here, and I did put in some requests of my own and some of the things that I feel like my family, um, you guys' family, just the world needs. And we're going to get into this in a couple moments. But I do first want to again thank you all. Thank you so much for your support and so much your love in my transition, for your time and consideration, and just for being amazing, for being you. Okay, so kudos to you. But moving forward, we're about to get into this message. Or the prayer. So for many of you guys are coming into, especially from the prayer request and the overall energy that we all have been experiencing lately. A lot of us are wanting new jobs, are just coming into jobs and situations where we want to have more stability, want to feel more content with ourselves, content in the place that we're in. And um, some of us want to find these jobs and have that solidity, and not just a job but a career, something that you love, something that you're passionate about, something that drives you and that stirs you up. Let me stop doing all this. But you want this passion and this energy, and also something that you can get paid very well. Others of us are wanting safety and stability and happiness and health, and for their families' prayers to be answered. Others are wanting to feel secure in themselves, to feel safe in themselves, to feel like they love themselves, to feel more close and more connected with God. And others of us are just wanting um, more, just more of a connection with God, more attention, more communication, just more. So, we're doing a prayer that wraps up everything that we are going through, everything that we're facing. And God, I saw so many symbols and things earlier while I was going over what I was going to say and what I was going to pray about today. But I guess it's going to all flow out as I speak. So, God, I just want to come to you today to thank you for everybody who's here. I want to come to you today to show gratitude. We want to come here today. And I'm sorry, this is my first prayer circle. And I do want all of us to make sure that we have a notebook out. Get you some water. Make sure that you're rested, okay? I don't want you overwhelmed in doing this when you don't have no time to do it. No, I want you to give God time, okay? And also, I want you to get your notepad out so you can take any notes on any energy on that comes through you, or that you feel, or that you think about. Oh yeah, I gotta pray about that later, or oh God, I want to release that, or oh, I want you guys to know. So, and I want you guys to release. Lastly, I want you guys to release your expectations, release overwhelm, release depression, release anxiety. Just breathe and release. Ooh, I felt like something was on my arm. Sorry, y'all. So release. Oh, it feels like something on my arm. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Caterpillars and animals been crawling on me all day. I just want to make sure nothing was on my arm. So let's just take a couple moments to release. I know y'all hear the dogs in the background. That is okay. You guys may have the kids running around screaming, or just are distracted in your mind, but take this moment to just breathe. Let go of life. Let go of your inhibitions. Let go of overwhelm. Let go of everything that's on your mind. Just let go. Close your eyes, you guys, and let go. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and let go. God, we thank you so much today for coming together, for gathering us, for loving us and healing us and keeping us and teaching us. God, we hope that you continue to push us. We hope that you continue to guide us. We hope that you continue to move in us in the clearest way. God, I say hope because we are working on our faith right now. We feel so disconnected. We feel so far away from you right now. So all we can do is hope that there's going to be some change or something different that happens, God. God, please fulfill our hope. Please open up our hearts so that we know that not only magic and not only blessings exist, but that you exist and that you hear us. God, work miracles in our lives, and not just for our good, because we are aligned, because we want to be aligned, because we want to know more about you. God, I know that we're in places where we feel like we're in hell. I know that we're in places where we feel like we're overwhelmed. I know we're in places where we feel like nothing's going right. I know we're in places where we feel like no one understands. I know we're in places where we feel like things will never turn around. Things will never change. Things will never uproot. Things will never be the same. God, I thank you for the revelation today that we don't want things to be the same. I thank you for the revelation today that things have to be different, that things need to be different, that things must be different. We realize that who we were in the past is not who we are now. What we used to do and who we used to be is not who we are now. It's not what we want right now. So God, not only do we ask for money and jobs and higher pay and people and husbands and wives and these material things, but we ask for the structures, we ask for the habits, we ask for the mindsets, we ask for the mental health, we ask for the resources, we ask for the strength, we ask for the love, we ask for the creativity, we ask for everything we need to be able to handle these things. We want these things but cannot handle these things once we get these things, because we didn't know what it takes to be somebody who is responsible for something else. But God, now that we know that we have to be responsible, now that we know that when we say we want something, that we're responsible for other things that come with that, we realize that we have to move more carefully. We have to be more discerning. We have to be more decisive. And God, we ask that we have your guidance and wisdom through every single moment and movement. God, we ask for clear eyes, clear vision, and a clear mind. We've made a lot of mistakes just moving on our own. We made a lot of mistakes being emotional and being lonely and being sidetracked and being distracted and being around the wrong people and being in the wrong places. We've made a lot of mistakes and decisions that have led us deeper into places that we didn't want to be. So God, please don't let this hole that we feel like we're in, do not let this place that we feel like we're in or phase that we feel like we're in make us make another mistake. God, let us be okay with the waiting. Let us be okay waiting on you, waiting on your love, waiting on your guidance, waiting on your clarity, waiting on you to make a way. We get so anxious, we get so overwhelmed, and we don't want to wait anymore, so we want to make our own path. We want to move our own way in our own energy. And we don't realize until the very end that it doesn't suffice and it's not good enough. So God, please help us acknowledge and work through us in ways that we realize we have to return to you. We have to listen to you. We have to let you guide us. God, let us stop overwhelming ourselves so much with what we have to do later, with what's coming next, with what cycle and overwhelm, and with what thing we're going to have to do. God, help us to remember that we only have to be enough for right now. We're perfect in this moment, and we only thing we have to do is showcase who we are right now. Showcase our best self, showcase our most amazing self right now, despite the fear, despite the overwhelm, because we have to realize that all of our fear either comes from people and experiences that are outside of us that affected us, or choices that we've made that have overwhelmed us. So God, we are telling you right now that nothing outside of us or nothing inside of us is going to stop us from doing what we need to do and being who you need us to be in this time. Nothing can shake us, nothing can break us, nothing can overwhelm us, nothing can distract us from your word and your wisdom. Not even things that were planted in our way, not even things that we've made up in our mind, not even things that we faced in the past, not even things that keep coming up in our present, not even things that keep repeating themselves. These things can overwhelm us. The God in us is bigger and better. The God in us is greater. And God, we're sorry that we're just figuring this out. God, we're sorry that this is just the beginning. And that's what God is saying to us. This is just the beginning. We don't have to be sorry that we didn't start at the right time or do it at this moment, or that we made that mistake, or that we had to go through this. If we didn't go through this, you guys, I'm so sorry that the camera was off the whole time. If we did not go through this, we would not know who we are. We would not know what we're doing. We would not know what's best for us. We would not know to not do those things, to not be these people, to not ever hurt anybody like that, to not ever treat anybody like that, to not ever move like that again, to not ever expect something like that, to not ever take that opportunity. We had to go through these things so that way we could tell somebody else, please don't do that. Please don't be that person. And it's not begging them, but letting them know that through experience, you know everything isn't meant for you, even though you can do it, even though it's free to do, even though God allows it, it does not mean it's beneficial to your journey and your uplifting and your alignment. We have learned so many things through so many actions that we've taken, that certain things were not worth or not aligned with our purpose, not aligned with what God has for us. And we beat ourselves up, and we tell ourselves we're gonna keep making mistakes, and we'll never try these things again. We'll never do that again. That it'll just only work out the same way. It'll only keep going in the same way. We cage ourselves up. We lock ourselves up away from everybody. We aren't sociable. We're immediately defensive to other people. We are immediately expecting something wrong to happen. We're immediately expecting to be on guard and on defense. Ooh, my arm, excuse me. But we have to acknowledge that is our fear of the past repeating itself. And in this next phase, we don't have the opportunity, we don't have the time to be defensive. We have to be fully vulnerable. If we want God to use us all the way, we have to let go all of the way. And a lot of us cannot let go. A lot of us feel like if all of their finances were together, if everything was together financially, or if this relationship were together right now, my whole life would be good. But if you had this job, or if you had that money, or if that man just proposed to you, or if that woman just said, finally act right, with their personality, with your personality, with the way that you act and the way that you communicate, and the way that you spend, and the way that you save or don't save, with the way that you act and move right now, the both of you, or whatever opportunity that you're thinking about, whatever this goal is that you want, if you had it all in its fullest capacity right now, with the way that you move, Seriously. Down to the ways you talk, act, communicate, inspire, love, sex, every single thing. Would you be able to manage this thing that you want, this business? If you're in a multi-million-dollar business right now, do you know how to communicate and have friends and have connections, to where that you can build up a multi-million-dollar business? You can't be the only worker at a multi-million-dollar business. Do you know how to connect and network and market? And do you know how to sell one item a day, 5 items a day, 10 items a day? Do you know how to be a great customer service person? Not just, at somebody else's job, but when this is yours and you know about your product, and when you have a little bit of an attitude problem or whatever. Is the person that you are going to be the person that you need to be for this blessing? And for many of you guys, that's not the person that you're going to need to be. The person that you are right now is not at all the person that you need to be to maintain this blessing, because we don't know how to save the way we need to save. We don't know how to make these connections. We don't know how to align in these ways that are going to bring us to success, but God does. And that's why we don't have to know. We don't have to know how everything's going to work out. We don't have to know how these bills are going to get paid. We don't have to know any of these things. Only thing we have to know is that as long as I'm here today and as long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to take initiative to do what God told me to do. And one thing we have to start asking ourselves is, what did God tell me to do? What did God tell you specifically to do? When God was I can't even tell you what's in the Bible, because every single person, God told them to do something different. And that's because the Bible is made up a whole bunch of different stories of a whole bunch of other people's testimonies of what happened in their own lives. So in your life, this call that you're receiving, this energy that you're getting, what is God telling you to do? Have you been doing something, listening to something in a certain energy, in a certain mindset, just sitting back, or just even around people? Have you been in a space and you are just like, you had a feeling, you're like, I'm not supposed to be here, or I'm supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to do this, or I'm supposed to do this. Dang, I really need to make this shift or change. Dang, this is not fitting in my life anymore. Dang, this energy that I'm in has to go because it's not beneficial to me and my family. Dang, this addiction, this habit, it has to go because it's not benefiting me. Dang, maybe I have to start all over because what I've been doing isn't what I need to be doing. Dang, why am I so overwhelmed? But everything's supposed to be right. Everything seems like it's right, but dang, why is it so overwhelming? Dang, I don't have any money. I don't have anything. No family, no support, no nothing. When am I going to receive my salvation? When am I going to receive my help? There's so many dangs, so many things that are going on in our lives. And the dangs are hard. I won't just overpass them and just be like, oh, it don't matter. I live this life just as well as you guys. It does matter, and it's hard, and it's unpredictable, and it's it makes your faith dwindle. Those things do make your faith dwindle. I won't lie to you. I won't be that person that's like, oh, you got to keep your faith up and everything will be great and peachy. These things are bound to happen, and they hit, and they hit hard sometimes. But knowing that these things do come, and knowing that they're not meant to beat you up, but they're meant to help you be better. Listen, if I hadn't been through what I have been through in my life, I couldn't be a business owner. I couldn't be a good mom. I couldn't be good at communicating with my customers. I couldn't be this person who's changing and trying to be better with her family. If I hadn't faced what I faced, I would still hold on to so much animosity, to the animosity that my younger self was holding on to. That younger me, the stuff that younger me was mad about. If I hadn't faced what I faced, I would still be mad about those things. And that's why time and patience are so important, you guys. Because we want this stuff now. We want it now. We want it now. We want it now. We want to see it. We want it now. But do you have what it takes to have it all now? Do you have the support it needs? that you would need to have the business and the family and everything right now? Are you the person for the job right now? And it doesn't mean that you are not going to become the person for the job and you can't become the person for the job tomorrow or next year, or shoot, that you already are the person. Because you are the person on the inside. But God has to develop you to make you into the person that you really dream that you are. Because if you could have had it, you would have it right now. But there's some reason that you don't. And there's something blocking your potential, but your potential is about to be unlocked and unloaded upon this world. A lot of you guys are wanting to know your passion and your purpose and your reason for being here, and to be more connected and close to God because you're feeling so far. But I want you all to know that God is so close to you. In those moments where you're in a tub just relaxing, in those moments when you're riding in a car and you can't find nothing to listen to, so you're just chilling, in those moments where you're just sitting outside, just looking at the sun go down, in those moments where you're walking through the store, it's just bored, just looking all around, in those moments where you're at work, just moseying around, not even paying attention to darn work, but something else is on your mind. God is always around, and we don't take the time in those moments to be like, oh, hey, God, how you doing? Could you send me some love and guidance and clarity? Any chance that you get, try to be connecting. Not forcefully, not, oh, I feel like I have to do that. No. If you feel like you need something, but not just when you need something, but if you feel like you just want to say, God, thank you for today. Oh, thank you for that blessing I got earlier. God, I don't know why I had that dream last night, but I just want to talk to you and let's see what's the clarity behind that dream. Could you please send me a sign of the clarity? Like, do I need to end that relationship, or what does this mean? God, could you please send me a clear sign on what I need to do with this relationship, or what I need to do with this job? And I do want to get into that as well. One of my and I was going to say one of my clients, but this is she's not a client of mine. She's a follower who wrote under one of my tweets on Twitter, and the tweet was saying was speaking on, I can't remember, but it was speaking on my beliefs and how I'm transitioning within my spiritual journey, and the fact that I don't need tarot cards or anything like that to channel God's energy and God's love. And she was saying, she was asking me about what I actually believe and how she has gone from truly believing in God, or maybe just one God or whatever, because of the experiences and the research and the things that she's gone through. And I was telling her that I have gone through the same experiences. I've had to find God differently. I've had to go in a full circle to find out who God is. And my thing is, I'm still searching. It's not fully clear. Nobody knows exactly about God, but we all have or many of us have this feeling, this energy is like that overtakes you, and it just uplifts you, and it's just so amazing. And with that feeling that God exists. So for those of us who are looking and searching and wanting to build our connections with God, we have to make sure that we are asking God for a sign. The point of me telling you about this story is that I was telling her, you have to decide, okay, God, I want more information, I want more knowledge, but you have to ask God for something specific. And I told her, listen, I keep hearing these stories about where people, listen, I thought I was God at some point. I thought I was God because the way I used to manifest, how quickly I used to manifest, it was crazy. But right before then, I believed in God. And I think, again, I got a big head. Like, I was manifesting and moving so quickly to the point where I was like, okay, I don't need to go to God no more. I got all the information I need. No. And I was sadly mistaken. But one thing that I realized is that she told me that, I've been seeing these videos or these testimonials where people are like, listen, I asked God for a sign to do this. I asked for God for this type of sign, and I received it. And it was this one story where this guy was like, he didn't believe, he wasn't a believer, but he was like, okay, God, if you're real, if I go to church today, have the pastor do a cartwheel. And I mean, obviously this person doesn't know this. So there's this pastor, and she's getting ready for church, and she's like, God tells her to wear, God puts it in her mind to wear her stockings under her skirt, and she's like, God, I don't want to wear my stockings, like whatever. So she gets all the way out the door, and she's like, in her mind again, put on your stockings. So she goes back in the house, puts on her stockings, and she gets to church, doing the thing, preaching and stuff, and all of a sudden, God, in her head, do a cartwheel. She's like, what, God? What are you talking about? And he's like, do a cartwheel. And she does the cartwheel. And the family sitting in the front comes up, and he's like, oh my gosh, we believe him. They're trying to tell their testimony. And they told that they asked for that, or the man asked for this thing. He asked for that sign. And I told the girl this underneath the post. This is a public post, and me and this girl were just talking under the public post. But I told her to ask God for a sign, for a big sign, a specific sign, and to see and be patient and wait for what God says. And she, we didn't speak again. And today she messaged me right while I was praying with you guys, or I'm sorry, going over the prayer request, and she was like, oh my gosh, you completely shifted what I was thinking. Oh my gosh, you helped me so much, because I asked God for a white butterfly, a sign of white butterfly. If I need to believe, if I need to shift my mind, I ask God for that sign. And she asked for the sign, and she's like, I hadn't been seeing it. I was just really obsessing about it, really wanting to see it. And one day I just went to the park, and I was just sitting down, and I saw the butterfly, and it kept flying past her. She was like, oh my gosh, it's flying past me right now as I'm typing. So that just goes to show you that when you are not obsessing over what God wants to give you, and when you ask God for something, God does want to give it to you, but God does not want you to be obsessing over it. And if you are obsessing over it right now, that's probably why you aren't getting it, because God knows, okay, you're obsessing over it. You're going to either overdo or underdo when you get it, and you're going to mess it up. When you aren't even worried about it, is the moment that God is ready to bless you with it, because you are focusing in on the present moment. God doesn't want you overwhelmed about being a parent, overwhelmed about being a business owner, overwhelmed about anything. God wants you focused on God, and when you are, God knows that you are ready to get more. When you have a posture that's always focused on God, God knows, okay, you ready for more. You ain't worried about yourself. You know I got it. You know I got you. You know I'm going to protect you. And a lot of us don't know that God is going to protect us. A lot of us use this fear and anxiety as an anchor. Like, oh, I ain't gonna try that because I'm too scared. You don't say that, but you say, oh, I ain't gonna try that. Listen, that opportunity can't be for me. Oh, I wouldn't do that type of thing. Nah, you probably ain't gonna be able to get that. No, you have to stop using all that fear as an anchor. What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? What do you want to have? This is not about begging anybody for anything, begging people for opportunities. If you want an opportunity, if you want to do something, put it into the atmosphere. Ask God. Put it out there. But what you get back, take that response as what it is, and you move forward. Take that response literally. Hey, do you want a relationship with me? No, I'm not ready. Hey, can I have this job? No, we're not hiring right now. Hey, can I start this business up? No, right now it's not the best time. Take all that for what it is. It's okay. But that does not mean you stop moving. That does not mean you stop searching. That does not mean you give up. All that means is God is redirecting you to something that's better for you in the time. And God wants you to have this open posture where you're willing to ask, where you're willing to still do it, where you're willing to still stand up for yourself, where you're willing to still be yourself no matter what. No matter if you get a yes or a no. And we hate getting these no's. No's make us feel uncomfortable. No makes us feel like, okay, I'm going to stop. No makes us feel like, oh, I could never do this again. Ooh. Stop letting no make you feel like that. Stop letting no drive you into hell. Stop letting no keep you in a place that you're in and you hate being in the space that you're in. Because after a while of having a certain amount of no's, you're going to receive that yes, and it's going to be a good yes. And you have to realize as well, all yeses don't need to be said yes to. You don't need to say yes to everything. If it does not align with your values, if it is not what you want for real, if it's only half or partial or whatever what you want, you do not have to say yes. If God is guiding you to, minimize and do work and serve and, maybe not get paid as much or whatever, maybe that's your calling. If it's a job that you want or a relationship that you really, I understand. God may be guiding you to pour more energy and do and learn more there. And God will give you that sign if you ask. Ask for this specific sign. God, I want a specific sign, and I want these specific things to be said, and I want to listen. Please give me a sign, and please give me a sign to either walk into something, accept something, release something, move on from something. Give me a sign that you're here with me, God. Give me a sign that I'm not going through this alone. Ask God to give you a sign about anything at any point, because God wants you to communicate with Him. You don't have to ask for a regular sign about something that you see every day. Ask for something crazy, to see how crazy that your God is, to see how crazy God will show up for you. I think we get scared to ask for these crazy things because we are used to trying to do everything on our own, and it's not working out. We're like, yeah, good stuff don't work out for me. Big things don't work out for me. It's because you won't let big things to work out for you. You won't believe that big things will work out for you. They will work out. Things will come full circle. You will be okay. Even if you don't feel like it right now, even if things aren't how you truly expect them to be right now, you are more than protected. You are more than blessed. You are more. You're not neglected. Because the thing about it is, you don't want to complain. We complain about where we're not right now, where we want to be, and I'm not where I need to be, and I don't have this. But you don't want. There are people complaining about the things that you want. There are people out here complaining like, this is not enough for me, and I hate this, and the hours are too long. Complain about the things that you want, and maybe that's the reason why you don't have it yet. Maybe that's the reason why it hasn't picked you. Maybe that's the reason why things haven't worked out, because it's not meant for you. That's the thing about it. You have to take it like that. That's why I said take these things for face value. Take the signs for what they are, especially when I think we as a people, we've gotten to this point where we're like, oh, crazy shit is supposed to happen. Like these cycles are supposed to beat me up, and I'm supposed to just keep going and just keep on trudging. And no. Yes, we're supposed to be persevering. Yes, we know that long suffering exists and that we're supposed to be going through these things to learn and be better. But that does not mean keep putting yourself into things that are overwhelming you and pushing through them and keep repeating the same cycle, knowing that the cycle is ineffective. Perseverance is only when you are moving in this right direction and you know that this is your purpose, you know this is your passion, and you know this is the way you're supposed to be going, but it is hard. If it's not your purpose, if it's not meant for you, if it's not making you better and driving you to success and inspiring you and helping you and healing you and supporting you and just stretching you towards love and stretching you in love, then it's a part of your demise. It's hurting you. It's diminishing you. And what are some of the things that are doing that? Write them down. What are some of the people that are doing it? What are some of the things that have you in hell right now, that have you in a headlock, that make you worried right now? Are these things inside or outside of you? And how does that make a difference? How does that make you feel, knowing that some of these things are inside of you, and some of these things are outside of you? They're not even any of your business, to be honest. With things that are outside, we have to learn how to mind our business and learn how to focus on that divine goal. God's divine goal, to find our purpose and to find our passion and find our peace. I know there's a lot of people out here looking for money, but you can look for money all you want. You can look for this money all you want, because once you get all of it, you're going to be looking for something else. You're going to be looking for that feeling, and that feeling is what I was talking about in the beginning. That feeling of that safety and security, and that you don't need for nothing, you don't want for nothing. And if you search for that feeling first, you'll have all the money, you'll have all the things, you'll have everything that you need. And y'all don't believe me, but you can, if you search for the money first, I promise you're gonna want to quit the job, because even though you have the money, you don't have the happiness and peace. And it's not about searching for the money and a good job. You can have the best job and still not have peace within your life. You have to ask God to work through you first. If God does not work through you before God touches any other thing in your life, you will corrupt it. You won't you won't you won't move like you deserve it, or it won't deserve you. If you don't let God touch you and go to God before you do anything in your life, you will corrupt what you've asked for. And that's one thing that we don't realize. Everything that's going corrupt in our lives, we did not ask God for, or we asked God for not for it, and God said no. God gave us a sign that said no, or we didn't even wait long enough to get a sign. We were just rushing. We were on our own time and our own energy. We're learning how to treat ourselves, and we're learning how to treat God, and we're learning how to build this connection. But to build this connection, it takes time. One thing I realized, I've been at the church I've been up at, I've been at the church that I've been at for just a couple of weeks, and me and my first lady really like each other. We've been going out on little lunch dates and stuff like that, and she was like, she was talking about my church being a church home and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, I kind of already thought the church was my church home. And she was like, oh, da da da. And she was like, people usually go come up and grab the mic, and it's like a whole thing. And they tell everybody that they profess it or whatever. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, that's not bad or whatever. But then I started to really analyze and think about what she was saying and how she was saying it. And I am an analytical person, you guys. But I started to realize, and I took from the situation, that this is a commitment for real. Like, to say that this is my church home, that means that this is where I consider this to be my people. I know I can get faith here. I know I can get support here. I know that this is where I want to be. And I had to realize, okay, I like this church, and I'm just, I've been here for a couple weeks, and I really like these people, and whatever is cool. But I didn't realize until I said that, like, do I know that this is my church home? And I said all this to say that we jump into commitments really quickly because we like what's going on, we like what's being said, and we completely agree on all these things, but we don't know if this is where we're completely and whole meant to be. And that, I say that to say, don't rush into anything. Keep working it out. And first of all, it's not about trying to make these things work. Work on yourself. As you work on yourself and ask God, okay, God, I know I got to work on this. I know I got to be this person. I know I got to do these things. All right, please help me to get a sign that aligns with this. Please help me to find the resources to do this. Please, God, help me to find the time to do this. God, please help me to release anything that isn't aligned with this. As you start to say these things, profess these things into the atmosphere, God will give you signs. God will make your energy not want to be around certain people, and not want to go to work, and not want to do a certain thing or be around certain people, or to give more in a certain place to do it. God will make you do these things, or allow opportunities to come towards you, allow things to rise or fall in your life. After you've asked, take the signs for what they are. After you ask for it. I think a lot of us don't ask, so we just are wondering why things are happening in our lives. But once you start asking, you realize, oh, this is because I asked for it. Even on your mind, even in your head, like, oh my gosh, why this person, da, 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 da. That's why you're having those dreams. That's why you're feeling this stuff. That's why these things are happening. But you don't want to believe it. So start to document these questions. We don't realize, we ask these questions in our head, and we get these signs, and we're like, oh, is this a sign or da da da? No, actually write the question down. Ask for the specific sign, and then wait on the specific sign, and do that for all the things that you want to know, all the things that you are worried about. And also, don't disrespect God. Do not just go, I promise you, do not go to God just asking for stuff. I feel like that's disrespectful, to be honest. Do not just go to God like, okay, God, I want a Benz and I want a da da da. No, give God respect and honor first and foremost. Thank God for being here. Thank God for leading you. God, thank God that you are even able to be in God's presence right now with as much stuff, and with as much stuff as we've been through, and as much stuff as we've done. Please give God some respect. Please put some respect on His name before you come to Him. Okay. So moving forward, just know, because I did not mean for this to go this long, but moving forward, everybody just know that God is always working on you. God is always working with you, and you're not alone. You're never alone. But you have to acknowledge when you are driving yourself into this place. And with this God, with this energy, moving outside of this prayer, moving outside of this message, moving outside of this, anybody who agrees to this message, anybody who accepts this message is ready for your transition and its change. God, I am ready to open myself. If you're ready for this message, if you're ready to be released, if you're ready to let go, if you're ready to get signs, if you're ready to move to the next level, I want you to repeat this message after me. I'm going to say it slowly so you can repeat after me. If you're not ready, you may want to listen to this message and come back. Listen to this message later. Keep this video so you can listen to this message later. But if you are ready to be loosed, if you're ready to release, if you're ready to move to the next level, if you're ready to not ever live the same life, if you're ready to move into your destiny, if you're ready to move into your destiny, it's your time. And this message is for you. God, I come before you today to loose me. Loose me from my past. Loose me from my shame. Loose me from my overwhelm. I feel like I'm drowning, God. I feel like life is getting so hard. Not only for me, but for the people that are around me, God. Life is getting so hard. And I don't know why. God, I know it's all for my higher good, but I ask that you give me this clear vision so I can see exactly how to move. If I can't see how you're doing it and why you're doing it, God, please help me to know exactly how to move. And when I don't, God, please send your holy angels and your heavenly spirit to guide me and to protect me and turn me around and lead me back into your essence. God, I appreciate everything that you do. And I ask that you continue to love on us and level us up. We are leveling up in this phase. We are leveling up moving forward. We are leveling up in our lives. We are done. We're done taking the same things we used to take. We're done doing everybody else's work. We're done covering up lies. We're done covering up secrets. We're done being overwhelmed. We're done living in a past. We're done living in a lie. We're done living in shame. So that means that our mouths aren't closed anymore. That means that we're not hiding our hands right now. We're not hiding what we know anymore. We're not hiding what we've been through anymore. We're not hiding anymore. There's no need to hide when we're with you. We are not ashamed to be who we are in front of the world. We are not ashamed to be who we are. We are not ashamed of judgment. We are not ashamed of overwhelm. We are not ashamed of what happens when life is life. God, we use our testimony to help other people. We use our testimony to be a love and light for other people. We use our testimony to uplift other people. Because we can't keep our testimony inside of us anymore, God. Our testimony is burning a hole in our system. Our testimony is burning a hole in our lives. Because it hurts so bad keeping this pain and shame and overwhelm inside of us. About money, about bills, about family, about the past, about the present, about life. It hurts so bad keeping it inside. So God, we want to release it right now. And if it comes out in tears, and if it comes out in screams, if it comes out in crying, if it comes out in overwhelm, if it comes out in love, if it comes out in song, God, just let it come out. Help us to express ourselves, express the love, express your guidance, express your passion, your peace in every single way that you have meant for us to express it. We're broken from shame. We're broken from overwhelm. We're broken from all these things. And God, this broken heart that we still have, this broken mind and this broken energy that we still have, we give it all to you as a sacrifice. We give it all to you. We put it all on the altar. Because we can't handle it anymore. We don't want to pick up the pieces. We're tired of getting cut by the puzzle pieces. We're tired of bleeding all over everybody else. We're tired of crying. We're tired of it, God. We want you to have the puzzle pieces. We can't handle it anymore. Give us the biggest, clearest, most open, most intuitive sign that we've ever seen, God. Work in our lives like miracles, God. But as you're working these miracles, God, align us with your destiny. Do not have us fall short. Prepare us for every single move, and that means strengthen us, and that means motivate us, and that means push us forward, and that means give us mentors, and that means give us resources, and that means give us people. God, we are millionaires. God, we are your heirs. God, we are your speakers. We are your mentors. We are your helpers. We are in love with you, God. We want to do your work, and we want to do what's best for you. But God, first, let us please release ourselves. Release ourselves from the overwhelm. Release ourselves from the judgment. Release ourselves from the anxiety that comes with living in this world that you've put us in, God. There are things that we're going through that were systems and were curses before we were even born, God. But we thank you today that the curse stops with us. We thank you today that the curse ends with us. We thank you today that the curse ends with us, God. We're not scared anymore. We're not scared to fight a demon. We're not scared to talk our talk. We're not scared to walk our walk. We're not scared to move in you. We're not scared to love you out loud. We're not scared to love ourselves out loud. We're not scared to be who we really are. We're not scared to post our videos. We're not scared to do our videos in our homes. We're not scared the fact that we don't have no money. We're not scared right now because we know that God has a testimony behind this all. We know that it's going to get easier. We know it's going to get better, and all with time, and all with amazing testimony behind it, and all in patience, and all with good worth and good wealth. Give us, God, all the tools that we need. God, we promise if you give us the tools that we need, if we give us the tools that we need, and the vision that we need, and the people that we need, and the purpose that we need, and the strength that we need, God, if you give us these things, we promise we'll do everything that you say. The patience, the purpose, the people, the product. Just give us all of these things that we need to do this thing that you want us to do, and we will do it. We just want to know we'll be okay. We just want to know that we'll be okay for our family. We just want to know that our family will be provided for. We just want to know that we don't have to worry about our foundation. We just want to know that we don't ever have to worry about these small things, God, or the big things. We're allowing ourselves to be projected, project our love, project our energy, project who we really are, and stop projecting this pain. We've tried to protect ourselves long enough. We've tried to protect our ego, protect our family, protect our finances, protect the people around us. We have been bodyguards for long enough. We have swords sticking out of our chest, out of our back, out of our heart, out of our spleen, out of our stomach. We have swords everywhere. We're hurting because we've tried to be our own bodyguard and everybody else's. God, we're realizing that now we want you to be our bodyguard. We want to lay at your feet, God. We want you to carry us, God. We want it to be easy for us. And that means that we're going to have to be vulnerable and acknowledge that I'm not this tough, macho, have it all together person. I need help, God. I need you to know that I need help. And that means that to be honest and be real in front of you, that means I cannot be fake in front of everybody else. I can't be real in front of you and being fake in front of everybody else. I got to let y'all know what's real. Stop letting these situations hurt you. Stop going back to these situations that are hurting you and then crying that it's hurting you. You are hurting yourself. And we're vowing today that we're going to stop hurting ourselves. We're vowing today that we're listening to our body, listening to the signs, listening to our mind, and writing down these blessings that we need, writing down these things that we need, writing down your wisdom that we need, writing down the things that we need to tell you, writing down the love that we have for you, writing down the affirmations that are fitting for us in our lives, writing down these things so that we can remember the blessings, and we can remember once we see that sign, ooh, I asked for it. You'll think about it and you'll lose it. But writing it down solidifies it. Writing it down lets you know that you have said it and that God has come back around and God has proven it. And to anybody who is in the music industry or writes things or just is a creator, expresses in some type of way, that was a message for you. I love you all, and I thank you all for your time, your energy, and love. Y'all know I'll do this all day. Now I will do this all day. But I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day. And if you do not know or understand what God is doing in your life right now, baby, Just wait and see. If you do not know what God is doing in your life right now, if you don't understand, if it's not becoming clear to you, just wait and see. I did not end my prayer with Ashe, Amen, Atu. Thank you guys so much for loving on us, and we believe, we entrust that we're ready. Everybody say, I accept the journey. I accept the journey, God. I am ready for the journey. God, I accept the journey and I'm ready. All right, I love y'all. If y'all need me, please comment your testimonials. Please do another prayer request. Please email me with any of your questions or concerns. I love to talk to you guys and communicate with you guys. But have an amazing night, and I appreciate y'all. Bye.